All right, guys, so today we want to talk about how you should position yourself, keep your composure inside somebody's closed guard position. And while we're at it, we're going to show you guys a couple of techniques I like to do from the closed guard to pass. Okay, so first things first, always about how you have your posture. In previous videos, I talked about posture from the guard position, posture from the mount position. Now we're passing the guard. You gotta understand one thing here. The person that has all the offensive attacks is the person in Alex's position right now. He has the closed guard position. That means his waist is above my waist and his legs are wrapped around my waistline. So that way there he has a better control. I am in a defensive position where I have to always be aware of the attacks, such as submission holds, chokes, arm locks, and also some sweeps. So I have to be aware of those things and always be on the defense against those types of attacks. Now, I have to maintain posture so I can break open the guard and eventually pass, okay? So there's a couple of pointers I want to share. Let's start from the bottom, all right? So I always want to have my knees placed on each side of his hip. So here, my legs or my laps are on each side of his hips. And here I have a good base, right? So like a tripod, I'm sitting down. I'm almost like a very heavy rock where I sit down very low and I'm leaning back slightly. That way there it makes his grip with his toes, his ankles, very weak like that. It's almost like he wants to let go, right? A lot of people are gonna struggle to keep you in a closed guard position after you learn some of the details I'm gonna share today. So this is the first step. Number one is always ground yourself in a good base. I wanna be stable from left to right. Number two is the positioning of my arms. So let's work our way up. Now, what I like to do in this position is always control his waist. So how I like to do this, notice how I'm rolling his jacket so you guys can see. I want to grab the pants right here and I make a pocket grip. So it's almost like I make a line with his clot and now I close so I hide my nails, my fingernails inside his pants like this on the outside. And now I use my palms and boop, and I push hard. When I do this, it locks my elbows up, keeps me in a good solid posture, and it keeps my elbows on the inside of his legs, inside his laps like this. I want my elbows flaring out like this because it's easy for him to either grab my elbows and pull me towards like this and break the posture, or open the guard now and start to slide inside to get spider guard positions such as this stuff, okay? So I want to try to prevent all this stuff when I'm here. So this is number two. And number three, probably the most important of all, is the posture of my body. That means my head. So if I keep my head up like this, when I teach the kids, I always tell them, look over the fence. So that way there they keep their head up high. If I slouch down like this and I curve my back, gives me, actually I should say, gives him access to grabbing my collar and pulling me down, or even attacking some cross-collar chokes, for example. I want to stay away from all this stuff. So once I'm here, I compose myself by having a good solid base, framing his hips, keeping my elbows on the inside so he can't attack the arm locks or bring his knees inside, and I keep my posture up nice and high so that way I'm strong and I'm away from his cross-collar grips such as chokes. All right, now let's take a look at how we can break open this guard from this type of position. So I'm gonna show you a few different ways today. So the first one is gonna be grabbing at the waist, locking everything up. Now what I wanna do is posture and bring one knee right where the tailbone is. And now I split open by driving my weight on a 45. Now notice what we're doing here. So if I do it solo, for example, what happens is this. I'm controlling here like this. I'm coming up, putting one knee in the center, and now widening my base to the side. So now I'm facing my closed guard in this position. So you were at 12 o'clock with your opponent, and when you split open the guard, you should be facing around 10 or 11 o'clock, okay? Let's do this one more time. And this is a very easy and basic way to break the guard against someone who doesn't know how to transfer or transition to different types of guards. If they insist on closing the guard, a lot of times they're using a lot of strength with their ankles to hold you in this position, right? They want you in their closed guard position. So the more they use that strength, the easier it is to just slide through and break that grip. So you go 1 and 2. Now we're here. Let's look at a favorite guard pass of mine, the stack pass. I'm gonna bring this leg up. When I bring my knee off the ground, it raises the leg and makes it very easy and accessible for me to bring this leg over my shoulder like this. Now, I bring this elbow inside. I never leave it on the outside. I always bring this one inside so that way there's no chance of him attacking. or even passing his leg on the inside. So I always bring it and hide it inside like this. Now this hand that's on the outside is gonna reach for his collar. Notice how I use the thumb inside the collar and I connect myself nice and tight against my opponent. Now once I'm here and I can bring his knee as close to his body as possible, I'm gonna drop my lead knee, boom, right to the hip, okay? And now I'm gonna use this grip, raise him off the mat, grabbing the skirt, which is the bottom part of his jacket, raising off the mat and posting my knee just behind like this. So now I have a kickstand to keep him up and all of the weight is on the bottom person. So now all I need to do from here is to continue passing the guard by controlling the waist and now driving my knees to the side and doing a sprawl here. All right, so I didn't put the full weight because I don't want to kill Alex. I like him a lot, so I want to preserve him, but in reality, you're really driving like a plow, like a bulldozer, really driving all of your weight when you sprawl. Okay, let's look at it one more time as a detail. So we are here, this is how we broke the guard. 1 and 2. Leg up, underhook, onto the shoulder, always on the shoulder. If I keep the leg here, I'm gonna struggle. His leg is much stronger than my arm. The moment I'm able to swim and bring this up onto my shoulder now, even if he resists with the strength of his leg or the weight of his leg, I'm driving all of my body weight towards him, so it's impossible to resist. I take my knee, drop it, and raise him off the mat. This is the stack from the stack pass. Now all I need to do is bring the knees down and watch how I'll sprawl. I sprawl this way. See how it clears the leg? And now drop my weight and I'll cup his arm and connect my position. This is what we refer to as the stack pass in Jiu-Jitsu. This is the kneeling stack pass. All right, I want to show you guys another favorite pass of mine. This time, what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna grab a hold of his sleeve. All right, I like to do this a lot. Now this hand could either continue controlling the hip or just controlling right inside the lapels and putting some pressure here on the sternum. Now, I'm gonna choose to stand up. So once I stand up, keep the guard closed, Alex, I got to this position. Squeeze my knees in and bring my elbow inside his lap. Very hard for him. Now he's gonna wanna open the guard. It's gonna make it easy for you to go under hooking, opening, and switching this grip. Notice how I'm always pinching this leg. Pinch the leg, wrap the other one, and switch your grip. Now this one pummels inside, and it goes double under. Now from here, what I like to do is bring my toes back, but let me post to the mat for the purpose of this video. Bring my toes back, but the knees stay off the mat. I'm posting my left arm to the mat because I don't want to stack Alex, but in reality, you're driving and plowing all of your body weight against the opponent on the bottom, right? So it's gonna look like this, boom, without your knees on the mat. So in this position right here, this hand is gonna go exactly like the first technique. It's gonna reach inside his far side lapel, but now when you start to turn, because you're controlling the near side arm, he can't push onto your hip. And that's a common situation where you stack past to this side and the guy's gonna use this as a frame to block this hip. So when you hold this, the cross grip, now he doesn't have this. It renders his right arm useless. And now from here, I'll pass and control this position. So let's take a look at it one more time. So I'm gonna grab control of the sleeve, elbows on the inside. Sometimes this will open the guard, right? But we're not gonna rely on just little simple tricks. We're gonna always think that this guy is one of the best closed guard person in the world, and these little pushes don't work against them. So we have to use better techniques. So we're gonna go 1 and 2, and now I stand up. He can't underhook. Once I got to here, I'll reach behind his ankle and cross the grip. See how I cross the grip? Underhook here. Now I have 2 arms that are underhooking him here. Now I'm gonna lean forward, stack. This is the double under. And now as I start to turn to the side, I drop my body weight, rendering his near side arm useless. So I can pass the guard, cup, and control. All right, let's look at technique number 3. These are all pressure passes, guys. These are some of my favorite passes that I'm teaching you guys for free on the YouTube channel. So you guys can look at some of the details and eventually attach some of the techniques I like to do to your own style of Jiu-Jitsu. Now this next one is gonna be the armpit control. So basically once you're here in the close guard, you just dive along the rib cage and you let yourself slide right to the armpits with a C grip, right to here, boom. The reason why we control at the armpits is now it renders his arms a little bit shorter. He doesn't have as much of a reach anymore if he tries to grab the collar or whatnot. He doesn't have the same type of control with his arms. So as I'm controlling here at the shoulders, I'm gonna drive up to my toes and lift myself up so I can get this position. Now, I'm gonna come back to controlling the hips. Once I control the hips, watch how my knee is gonna go right in the center of the tailbone. And from here, I'll have a seat. This is what I call the boogie board position. All right, once I split open the guard, this knee is gonna drive across the mat while the other one comes off. I'll eliminate all gaps and go right to my final destination, which will be the side control. And now I'll drop my hip and control my position until I finalize. This is called a knee slice position to pass the guard. Let's take a look at it one more time. We'll do it from this angle now. Here we are, armpit control. We'll stand up, so I'm driving up on my toes. I'm coming up. Once I grab a hold of his waist, watch how my knee works. Goes right into the center and it splits right in the middle here. Okay, so I drive forward, so I'm kicking my knee across the lap and raising the opposite knee up. I'll come and control the neck, underhook his leg, and now drop my hip so I can have a nice control. Before I remove my foot, I'll control his hip and drive his leg away from me so I can control my position and finalize the side control. All right, as a bonus, I want to share one more technique that I like to do when we're standing up in a close guard position. It doesn't necessarily just means that you have to pass the guard. This next position is one of my favorite positions, but it's a basic one. Although there's many variations to do it, I'm going to keep it simple for the purpose of this video. Once again, I'm going to grab my good posture here. So if the person grabs a hold of my sleeve, now I got to get rid of this. So I'm going to go around, break this grip, and then reconnect so I can get my control again. My elbow stays on the inside of his lap. Now, once we stand up, a lot of times when I start to stand up, I don't need to fight. It'll depend. Some people, once you start to stand up, right or left side, watch how they're going to start to open the guard. Now the feet are dangling on both sides across your waist. Okay, so I'm here and I'm controlling like this. What's going to happen now, he's not doing a good job of controlling the distance by placing his feet onto my hip. They're just here. So that's a sloppy opening of his guard. What I'm going to do is take advantage and capitalize on that opening and grab a hold of his foot. And a back step on the side I was controlling the arm. Bring my knee inside this lap and now hook this foot so I can fall on this side. Notice how I'm pushing this leg away. Once I fall down, this leg comes across and posts on his waist. Just here, 1 and 2. I'll remove this one and push it away. Now, all I need to do is grab his shin and grab my own wrist from here. Boom. And from here, I'll bridge and finalize the foot lock. So once again, I grab control of his wrist, or maybe he had my control first. So there's many methods of getting rid of this, right? Here's another one. Now I'm gonna stand up, so I'll posture in, start to stand up. When I get up, he opens the guard, but he doesn't do a great job, and that gives me a great opportunity to attack the foot lock. So what I like to do here, I'll back step, bring my knee in between so it starts to work its way through this drop. And now I grab a hold of his leg. As I fall down, right to this side, right away I'll stop his hip. So this foot, if it stays on the outside, I'm giving my opponent a chance to sit up and get the mount position, which is wrong. So right away, once I got to here, what I need to do is stop his motion. Toes or heel on the inside, whichever you prefer. Now this foot will come to the inside of his lap. I don't want him escaping. right? So once you lean down, you grab a hold of his shin and your own wrist like this. You lock it up into a figure 4 motion. Sometimes, if you're in a tournament where you're allowed reaping, you'll bring this all the way through here. All right? And now you just bridge to attack the footlock. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching our video on this tutorial for guard passing as well as a bonus footlock. Guys, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe for more content of Jiu-Jitsu just like this one, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Until next time,
We'll see you guys in the next Jiu-Jitsu video.
take care.